Pro Dumpster Diver back at it again for a late night special. So, what are we looking at today? We have a massive amount of gold scrap. When I say massive, I mean massive. So, this is a new camera tripod that I'm trying out right now because some of you guys said that I need to start to hold the camera steady. And so, here, I'm going to show an entire bucket full. I mean, this is massively full of just silver circuit scrap. So again, I'm going to go over the basics right now so all of you can see it. So what we're looking at right now on the table, and I hope I'm not talking too loud, is scrap that comes from circuit breakers. So I'm going to use a chopstick. I apologize. I had some very good food today. I had eggs with chicken. This is actually salmon burgers there, vegetables, white rice with turmeric, black pepper, and salt. Okay? So, trust me, having this up there. I'll use backup. Now, what we're looking at is we're looking at all the metal you can actually see here comes from inside of circuit breakers. Large ones, small ones, we're going to go over all of them. Now, why do people collect it? And a lot of you ask, what's the point of it? Because they have silver on it. Circuit breakers have 2 points of that, okay? And I'll express that here. Inside of a circuit breaker, you have 2 points that connect in order to complete the circuit. So this is part 1 and this is part 2, or think of A and B. When they touch and connect, just like that, it completes the circuit, and sometimes it can take off the circuit depending on what type of breaker it is. Now, as we're looking at this here, this part here, this is metal. Now, sometimes you'll see brass, sometimes you'll see copper, okay? This is a big copper piece here. Now, notice on the end of it, for those of you who don't know, you're going to have this small little piece right there, okay? This is a little silver piece that is here. Again, it's a very small amount of silver. Some of the pieces will be very small. I'll show you a very nice common example. This is a common example of what you will actually have on circuit breakers. This will be the end piece that actually connects to the top part that flips. Now, on this, you're going to notice that it's a metal housing. You're going to notice a screw right there. You're also going to notice a bit of copper. But on the end piece here, you're going to have the silver. The silver, as you can see, is right there. It's that small little piece. Now, on weaker circuit breakers that have been damaged or burned, you can actually break that off with the pliers. It'll come right off. On other parts, you will need to put it onto a hot source. Sometimes a Bunsen burner, butane. Some people use propane. You can go to Walmart and buy the actual blue pieces for it. And once you heat that up, you can actually go ahead and break it off and just dip it into a small little cup of water. That way you can get it to cool faster. Okay. Now, the whole point of this, now, a lot of people say, well, okay, so I have a question, like, where do you find circuit breakers? You find them everywhere. To be honest, there are many construction companies around me, and they throw these out all the time. I'll see them in dumpsters. Sometimes I'll ask them for it and everything like that. Sometimes you'll pay them $5 or $10 and get about 50 circuit breakers, and it's definitely worth it. All right. So how do you identify where the silver is? On this piece here, this is a very big piece here. You can clearly see it's copper. Okay. You're going to find different metals. You're going to have some copper on it. You're going to have some aluminum, some brass, maybe some bronze. Where do you find the silver on it? You're always going to look for a small circular dot. Always flip it over, and here we go. Okay, it's definitely going to stand out. If you look at this, you can clearly see it standing out right now, just on the end piece of that right there. This is all copper, and that's the silver piece. If I pulled up something like this, right, I already know where this is. I know this is metal, and that silver piece is always going to be right there. Okay, if I pulled up something like this, I already know where the silver piece is, right there. Something like this. Okay, and I'm going to keep doing this so you can actually definitely understand right now, because it's very important where it is. All right, some of them will be different right now. It'll definitely end up working out, which is very, very good. So you have a small little piece there, which is also good. We also have another piece just like that right there, okay? I'm going to show this to you so you can understand it. Now, another question some people will ask is, well, I have a question how much silver is actually on it? Well, I'll actually show you. Let's take a piece like this, okay? We have a lot of metal on it, but the silver piece we want is right there. That's what we want, okay? Now, how much is that? To be honest, that little thing is flattened out, probably maybe a gram or half gram. Oh, wait, I think this comes out. No, it's got a little, you see a little dentin piece right there that stops it from coming out. I have to get a pliers in that. But yeah, so how much is on this? Probably about maybe half gram or a gram. Again, you'd have to burn it off. You do want to use some borax because you're going to have solder bits left on it, okay? Even ones as small as this. Okay, now this piece here is nice because, again, looking at metal, but I can clearly see the silver pieces right there. Now, in order to melt this, there's another question. Have this with pliers that's not metal because it's going to heat up and it's going to burn your fingers. You don't want that, okay? There's a silver piece right there. Okay, let's look up another big piece right now. Let's look up a piece like this, right? You got copper on it, but you also have the silver piece right here. You can clearly see that. Put this into a clamp or alligator clips, but don't put it on your hand because that heat is going to transfer out and it is going to burn you. Okay, trust me, it's going to get very hot. Now, on certain parts like this, I don't really know where the silver is. I would actually just put this in acid and see what happens. Okay, now look at this piece here. I love this piece, right? Nice little piece. Again, regular metal, not worth much. Copper is good. I want to have a couple copper bars right now out of this. I have a lot of copper in here. And then this is the regular metal piece. And guess what? On top, we have the silver. You can clearly see it. Clear as day. Okay. Now, again, nice copper pieces here. They will have to get cleaned. Okay. But guess what? We got the silver on it. Okay. Now, on some other parts, you might not be able to find the silver or the silver is small. See on this here, the silver is very small, very, very small. Okay, now again, it's still a good amount of silver on it. Where's the silver on this? Right on the end of it here. Okay, always double check online. I will be answering questions and comments there. You have the silver piece here. Now, what's this worth? To be honest, it's worth a lot. How much silver do I have? I have a massive amount. This bucket here is probably about maybe 20 pounds or so, plus what I have on the desk. Okay, again, it's a large amount. Now, you're going to find these in circuit breakers. Okay, the silver piece there that you want is right there. Burn it off, clean it off. If all else fails, to be honest, just put it in acid. That'll help you out. Put them in acid, and that'll make it easier for you. Okay, so piece here, right here. Now, is it worth it? To be honest, I get a lot of my circuit breakers. I find them all over the place. People throw them out. There's a couple construction companies that put them in dumpsters. I'll take them out there. They put it in with a whole bunch of garbage. If it's in the metal dumpster, I won't. But if it's in the garbage dumpster, I'll take it. Sometimes, usually one or two. Right? Now, how much silver do I have here? To be honest, if I were to put all of this silver together, I probably got about a pound in here. Now, what's a pound of silver worth? Today, a gram of silver, I know, is worth about 70 cents. So we'll take 70 cents and multiply that by 454, which is about the amount of grams inside of a pound. Right? The amount I get is $317, right? In today's market. Now, silver may go up later on. Who knows? Okay? Now, you'll have different parts here. You're going to have, again, a lot more metal, but it's usually going to be connected to it with this copper piece. Okay? Now, here's another question. Should you actually keep the copper? You can. I mean, you can. For me, I might keep the copper. You know, I have a whole suitcase full of it, which is great. So I'll definitely probably keep the copper. Right now, it's a lot of copper on this, and the only thing I need is silver. Here's the thing. This silver piece is worth probably the same amount 3 times that, right? A pound of copper, you'll probably get $4 or $5. A pound of silver is about $379, right? So again, always look at that. You never truly know until you go ahead and ask those questions. Okay? But yeah, I have all of this. All this comes from again, this is copper, and then you have the silver part there. Looking inside of this, I have a large amount in there. Okay? This is a huge bucket full. beautiful baby in there, okay? And all of this is just full of circuit breaker scrap. Now, we call it circuit breaker scrap because that's basically what it is, okay? Now, again, all of this is beautiful. It's great. My advice to you guys is start looking. Because, again, something small like this, melt that off, go on Facebook, find circuit breakers, buy them from people if they have it close to you. Philly has some of the cheapest circuit breakers out there right now because they're redoing the Section 8 housing. All right? But this is what I have for you today. I'm going to unclip this mount right here. Oh, didn't break it. Thank God. Thank God. Okay. But this is what I have for you guys today. Just wanted to do the video. Okay, wanted to show you what we actually have. Again, a very, very good amount of stuff. All right, so I'm going to upload this video and make sure this is here, but trust me, this is what I have. All right, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt it over so you guys can actually see the full amount of all of it. Trust me. At Pro Dumpster Diver, we go in. Have a good day.